Hello AP Biology students, we're going to go over the last section in Unit 3. We made it. And even better news, I actually don't make my students take notes on this section. This is the 22nd section in this unit where we're going to be going over mitochondrial diseases. I like to end this unit with this section on these mitochondrial diseases because it shows how important mitochondria or cellular respiration is to eukaryotic cells. All right, to start us off, we're going to talk about some types of inheritance where mitochondria are actually going to be inherited solely from the mother. This occurs because when the sperm and egg fuse, the sperm is going to donate the DNA to the egg. However, the mitochondria that the sperm is using is not going to be taken in by that process. And if we can remember back to our Unit 2 topic on mitochondria have their own DNA. It's circular, and it's because they were once free-living organisms that are like bacteria that were taken up through something called the endosymbiotic theory. So what we can do is we can trace the inheritance of these mitochondria from mother to all of her offspring. This is very different than the DNA we find in the nucleus, where you get half from mom and half from dad. When looking at the mitochondrial inheritance, you can see here that each person is going to inherit their mitochondria and mitochondrial DNA from their mother. You can see here is what it looks like. You can see the DNA from the egg and the DNA from the sperm. The DNA from the sperm will make its way in. You can see the double amount of DNA. However, the mitochondria in the back of the head of the sperm here isn't going to make its way into the egg when it fertilizes it. This is just the process of that fertilization, but that mitochondria, again, will not be inherited from the father's sperm. Your mitochondria will only be from the mother. So why are we talking about the inheritance of these mitochondria? Well, first, mitochondria is, again, where cellular respiration occurs, and it's very important that all of those enzymes and proteins that facilitate cellular respiration work correctly. If just one of those enzymes don't work in this process, there can be major problems for that person. So these types of inheritance are pretty rare because it's so important. It's not like where if you are born with another disease where you could maybe live and survive, but you have some complications. If you have complications with your mitochondria, there are major life changes, and sometimes it's just deadly. This is, again, because this is the site of cellular respiration. This is where ATP is produced. If we don't have enough ATP for other things to do work, nothing else can really get done. It would be like if a country goes without power, maybe all their power plants shut down. Nothing's going to get done because everything relies on that electricity, that energy to do their work. So again, the reason why I like to cover this material here at the end is just to show the importance of all of these enzymes and these pathways and the importance that each enzyme works effectively or correctly during cellular respiration. You can see what can happen is if a mother has some mitochondria that work correctly but others that don't, it depends on the amount of mitochondria that don't work that are given to the egg that can determine whether the offspring will have a disease. This is part of the reason why a mother who might not show that they have a mitochondrial disease might have offspring that do. It's because they're just getting a selection of the mitochondria that have that genetic mutation that causes that disease to exist in the offspring.